Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Survivor After show here on theStream.tv. Joining on the conversation on YouTube, we have one of our very talented hosts. She's been sick with the Coachella flu, but today she has returned pretty in pink. She is Sporty Spice, and I'm also going to say the pink Power Ranger.
Oh. Yes. Straight from her
Not only
class.
is she wearing a pink jumpsuit, she's got pink shoelaces and even a matching pink water bottle.
I love
which,
pink.
Jerry, I think you're going a little overboard today.
It's my favorite color. I don't wear it enough. I'm sorry.
And then over to my left is the Green Ranger. We have Ryan Allen Carrillo.
This is all you could give us today? The Green Ranger?
I mean, if you're a Power Ranger fan, I'm the Red Ranger, Jason. Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh my God.
Never saw the Power
going
Rangers.
on right now?
Never saw the Power Rangers.
All right, this is the Survivor After show, and we are talking about, obviously, the latest episode. It was a pretty good episode. Amazing tribal council. Jerry's still laughing. Jerry was gone last week, but Jerry, real quick, what were your thoughts on last week's amazing episode?
I thought it was really ridiculous that Shireen got upset that Will verbally abused her after she questioned his integrity, whether he was sharing the food or not. She kind of opened the door for someone to verbally abuse her.
Oh my God!
Wait a second.
Where were you last week?
It's
Get your comments
controversial,
in, people.
But obviously, his trigger is something to do with people questioning his integrity, and her trigger is verbal
That's like
abuse.
saying a girl asks for it when she gets beat. Like, that's like your analogy
I
right now.
don't know about that, Jerry.
Okay, I think Will went a little too far. Okay, but I think she opened the door for that to happen, and she literally pulled his trigger.
But she was opening or talking about something in the game context.
And it also
He
wasn't
went
just
out
her.
of
It
the
was
game.
almost everyone sort of thought something was going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
I'm sorry, I have a different
She
opinion.
was on cold medicine, people. She was on cold medicine.
And
All right.
okay, and the other thing that happened last week that totally rocked my world was when Mike didn't take
Yes.
the advantage. I was
Yes.
like, he screwed himself. He was gonna go for it, and then he pulled back, and then everyone saw what he did, and
Yeah.
then he didn't take the
And
advantage.
even if he would have taken the advantage, he still would have the same problem. He's at the bottom. He's at the bottom, even though he didn't take it. He should have just taken it.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's talk about this episode. We open up the episode with Dan talking about how he doesn't think he's at the bottom. He's delirious.
For sure.
Also, Shireen talking to Dan about being verbally abused. And then Dan saying that Shireen is hypocritical and always plays the victim.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically the same every week with these people. I mean, Shireen is always bringing up her problems, and Dan is always there to be a chauvinist asshole. I mean, that's what he does every week.
Shireen has made this personal for herself by bringing her personal issues into the game every single week. So every time she gets upset that people are being personal with her,
Right.
she gave them the ammunition they needed to know exactly what to do to hurt her.
And also, really quick, I want to say, since day one, she has been like almost playing her issues that she's had. And I understand talking about your problems. We all talk about our problems.
Yeah.
But she's put it in the context to help her in the game every week. And I could understand being sick of hearing about it too.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I do think there is a line where you cross, and Will definitely crossed
course.
it. And he definitely
Of
crossed
course.
it.
There is no reason to be mean to another person on Survivor. In the context of the game, you
I
don't
feel like
have
I would
to-
be mean.
You don't have to be mean, but
I
it
would
does
be mean.
happen. Let's also take into account things we often forget. They don't show it as much anymore.
Yeah.
People are starving, they're not
Yeah.
sleeping, they're cranky, they're very sensitive.
But Jerry,
Right.
you've
So
never-
then again, that leads to like people. That's hard to keep your mouth
Yeah.
shut when you're crazy.
But-
and says the queen of mean.
I was just gonna say, you've
What the
never
heck
been
are you
mean on
talking
reality
about?
TV.
I don't know what you guys
Rosie
are talking
O'Donnell bought
about.
your entire cast a car and gave you a T-shirt, and she hates you. And you are saying, "Oh, be nice, everyone's kumbaya."
Who is this?
Calm yourself over
For
there,
the record,
woman.
I never said be nice. I never said that. But there are things that you don't need to say that are very hurtful. to
Okay,
people. I
yeah.
never said anything to
Everyone
anybody that
go
was
to
like,
YouTube
She
and look
never
up
said
Jerry's
anything
comments that
hurtful.
she said over the
No,
I
years.
never said anything personal to anybody. Like
Never?
Doug, no, I
Never.
didn't dig into their family life. That's horrible. That's
All
horrible.
right, well, moving on, let's talk about the reward challenge.
I hate you guys.
We're glad you're back. The fireworks are off. Today's reward challenge, taking barrels, putting planks on them to move them across. Mike's team strategy was Mike just basically humped the barrels the whole game.
Basically.
He made love to the barrels because
Right.
he didn't get any love out there.
Right.
He did.
Sweating his, I don't know. There's a lot of comments on Twitter about that for sure.
Yeah, and before the challenge, we even all talked about what's the strategy, and the strategy was exactly what the red team did.
Right.
It was
Slow and steady, take your time, and not take any risks. And then at the end, I mean, they were standing on those barrels. I mean, that was a scene.
Yeah.
Oh, it never makes any sense to put a barrel on its side.
No.
They do roll. They're round.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I tweeted out to, I have a company, Reality Rush, where I run reality games for people, and we
Plug alert,
that
plug
challenge.
alert,
You
plug
gotta
alert.
plug that challenge. So, and a bunch of my reality contestants are playing, and they recognize that challenge.
Well,
So,
what did they
yes.
do the most?
There's a little difference to it, but it's going from top to top to top, and using
No
planks.
bottoms?
No bottoms. Oh my God.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Snap.
Oh gosh. But the strategy was what the red team did. You always do what the red team did. All right.
Right.
So after the reward challenge, we get to Rodney opening up once again, about how he's in control of the game. He's got the numbers, calming Sierra down. We don't need to go after Tyler.
Rodney's
we
full
just
of
need to
shit,
keep this
dude.
6.
Rodney is totally full of shit. I'm sorry. Every week he says he's in charge. Every week he says he's making the moves.
Well, he had his own
one-
hashtag tonight.
Like, give me
What
a
was it,
break.
the was it?
Rodney time.
Rodney
he
time.
needs his Rodney time. Yeah,
with him.
I would love to see you make a move, Rodney. Bring it on, dude.
Yeah,
Let's see it now.
Well, if you saw in the preview, his move next week is he's asking everybody to vote him off. So,
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I
you were
must-
eating salami and cheese outside.
No, you ate
Yeah.
all the salami.
But then, oh my God,
get
Jerry's
any
not on
salami.
weed
What
tonight.
show
She's
is this?
drunk.
Oh my God!
I'm
Great.
getting red now. I'm getting
Here
the
we go.
Justin
Turned
red.
I turned red. But one thing that I have to say is tonight, finally, I saw a spark, a moment of Sierra waking up.
Who?
Sierra, yeah. Sierra, when she said, why don't we go after Tyler? Shireen will never win a jury vote in the end. Tyler is in control of this alliance. He's got the numbers. He's winning challenges, and he's a bigger threat. Finally, Sierra, but again, she's just like Rodney. She won't ever do anything.
Well,
I
don't the
know.
producers ever, this is just a production question, say, you're not giving us anything. Like, they can tell during the course that she's not bringing, she's probably said 3 sentences. This is
mean-
episode, what number is this?
11.
Episode 11. She said 2 words.
It's in her, like Tyler, we were talking about this episode too. Tyler is boring.
Right.
Sorry, Tyler.
he
You're
could-
probably a good guy in the context of Survivor. You're kind of a boring
He
player.
could win this game, and he's probably the least
Serious.
person to talk at all.
I think Tyler's awesome, but I also need an
do?
agent.
Wait, what? I missed that.
She said, I want an agent. He
I
was
said
an
he's
agent
awesome.
assistant.
By the way, I
Assistant.
need an agent.
He works in
I
the
will say it
mailroom.
again.
You know what? I have to say something, though. I think this is profound. Is everybody ready?
Oh, jeez.
I don't think they said anything about collars this episode.
Oh my God.
No, they did. Blue. He just said blue. He didn't say collar. Mike. He said, I've been
But there was
blue
no
all
context
the
to
way.
finally,
Finally.
people.
I
On
don't
day
know.
28, 29, and 30, we
The
don't
collars
get a collar reference.
are gone.
Mike's still talking about blues.
Think-
You
I would
guys-
pop
you
my
guys
collar,
missed
but
it.
I'm buttoned down.
So on the reward challenge, they're eating cheeseburgers. Those actually look delicious.
They
The
did. I'm
cheeseburgers. We were all
starving
hungry.
right now.
But again, Dan thinks he's on the top. He's in the
Also,
alliance.
These
It's like,
people are
come on.
still very fat for not eating on the show. I'm just calling that out
Although
too.
Mike is really skinny. I noticed
But
tonight
he was
looked
like
really
not.
skinny.
But I mean, the bigger guys on the show are still big. Like
Yeah.
these are like the first people to go on Survivor and gain weight. Right?
Well, speaking of weight, tonight's immunity challenge is all about taking 25% of your body weight from the
That was a great
From
transition.
day one.
From day one. So if you lost a lot of weight, then you're going to have more weight to hold and
Right.
hold as long as you can. We've seen this challenge before in Survivor. But the twist, let's talk about it. 1 immunity for the longest lasting male, 1 for the longest lasting female. There are 3 females, Carolyn, Sierra, and Shireen, and then a bunch of other guys. So
terrible.
Why? Why would you throw a female and a male immunity out
I
there?
just feel like those titles are so important, like to win. Like everybody
Yeah.
wants to win. It's just like giving it away for free. It like takes away from what the award is.
Yeah.
I
think?
wonder if the women addition was because they wanted Shireen to have the opportunity. Mike and Shireen. How epic would it have been if Mike and Shireen would have been the 2 to win, which Shireen almost did versus Carolyn. But it is also saying why this challenge and not the other ones that were physical, that a male dominated. And it's where do you have the discrepancy
Right.
of which one is more fair to give a woman an equal shot?
Right.
Shouldn't all the challenges across the
Because
board be fair?
Right, because as a viewer too, this did not help like adding excitement to
No.
the production value at all. So you have to think. I agree, like because it just doesn't make any sense.
If Shireen
because
would've-
they've done this challenge before and they didn't give an advantage. to the
No,
women
and this is
playing.
one of the challenges where it's actually an even situation.
Because they do the percent body fat.
Yeah, it's totally even. There's no advantage being a male or a female. So I didn't
weird.
understand it either, and it kind of bothered me. It
I
kind
think
of
it was-
cheapens it for me when I see
agree.
them. Oh, here's an extra immunity necklace.
Right.
Who wants it?
Right.
You gotta have a vagina though to have this one.
Unless
And-
you're Bruce Jenner.
And oh my gosh.
I had to do a
I'm gonna
Bruce
have to
Jenner
watch
joke.
that.
Which, if you haven't watched that 2020 special, I think everybody should watch it. Jerry hasn't watched it. Jerry.
We'll host an after show.
We'll do an after show on the Bruce Jenner special. But Mike won. He beat Rodney, so I was happy to see Mike beat Rodney. All
For
this
sure.
talk, he can't pull out a win. You know?
Not one.
So that was kind of that. So let's take a quick break and go do a little word from our sponsor.
Oh, it's always crazy.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
That the more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them don't ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on thestream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
All right, we're back with the Survivor After Show. We are still disappointed not to be in that promo.
Right. There are shows in that promo that don't even air anymore.
Oh gosh. We are again live here on YouTube at thestream.tv. Jerry is on YouTube, and we're going to take some YouTube fan questions.
She looks
we?
lost, bewildered.
Are you, Jerry?
Yes, I
Hopefully.
will. Well, you know, I have to say, I really like this one here by Cody Van Hoot. Van Hout. I don't know.
Who's is better?
Didn't Jeff say this was the best season yet? I've come to the conclusion the season is only good if it has Jerry in it.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Well, Cody Van Hoot. Jeff did say this was one of his favorite, which we had last week's episode was amazing.
Right.
Yeah, one out of what? how
But
many?
This has not been-
I would
I
not
think-
put this in my top 5.
No,
so
this
far.
is for sure not top
No.
5. Not top 10, not top 15.
But Jerry, can you find us a comment or a question that doesn't include you? Or
No,
is that-
actually, I
that
can't.
maybe
They
that
all
is
do.
Oh, jeez.
No, let's see. I'm so sad. This is Kiara Elliott. I'm so sad. I really understand why Mike did not play the idol. He has to look out for himself, but I would have been the best gameplay, and Shireen would have stayed in the game.
All right, we're going to talk all about that in
Yeah.
a second, all about the huge idol play at Tribal. But before we do, Ryan, let's go to Twitter.
Are we going to Twitter?
Tweeting questions with the hashtag SurvivorAS.
Perfect. All right, well, Ping Pong Mitch, how should Tyler play the fact that he voted for Dan, regardless of what we see in next week's preview?
Yeah.
So yeah, that is going to be a challenge for him.
So
for next
Ty,
week.
we saw in the preview that Dan calls out Tyler, and Tyler admits it that he was the one that voted for Dan. We saw a little bit of it. I think the argument is you have to say that
My neck was on the
my
chopping
neck was on the
block.
chopping
What am I
block,
gonna do?
and spin it on Mike. I knew Mike would vote for you because Mike doesn't trust you and he's mad that you betrayed him. So I voted with what I thought Mike would do. I didn't want to vote you, but I did what I thought
had no
Mike
choice.
would do. Yes.
But that clearly isn't going to fly.
No.
All right, next one is Caitlin L. Davies. Which of this season's cast would you like to see back for another season? From this season,
Jerry, what do you
see
think?
back?
Shireen, I think Shireen's a great character. I would love to see her come back, and I'm sure she will.
I would put $1,000 right now that Shireen
Yeah.
will be on a future
And
season.
Joe.
I say Shireen and Joe are coming
Joe's
back
coming
together.
back for sure.
They're
as a
definitely
couple.
coming back.
As a
As a
couple.
couple.
I'm clearly
Oh.
kidding.
Wow. I hear he's with Jen.
Really?
Oh yeah, that
on
is.
Instagram, they're like
that is the
Instagramming
rumor.
pictures
You follow
together.
these people?
No, I just looked because I saw someone tweeting about
You're
it.
obsessed.
I don't follow them.
Obsessed. All right, next one is from Justin W. Root, which Justin, you're like good looking.
Oh, that's Justin Root.
He's hot.
Oh.
Hi, Justin.
Whoa.
What do you think has been the single most important move of the season so far?
Ooh.
Wow, good question.
I don't even know.
Jerri, what do you think?
I think tonight's move was pretty awesome. Mike pulling out and threatening to use the
I'll say,
idol.
oh, sorry, got too excited.
Mike pulling
When
something
Shireen
out.
raised her hand and said, no, you're not reading your letter.
yeah.
That's the best
My
move
favorite
for me.
move so far.
For sure.
Shireen raising her hand.
Totally denied Will his family
All right, so
letter.
keep
That
your
was
questions
awesome because
coming on YouTube.
We were you weren't here last week,
Oh
but we
my
were
gosh.
literally screaming. during the-
Screaming.
Yeah, that was, I did enjoy that. I did actually enjoy
Yes.
that.
All right. So let's talk about post-tribal. Shireen talks to Dan. I'm not a threat. Shireen's making the argument to everybody. I'm not a threat. Take me. Take me. Take me. Goes to Sierra. I'm not a threat. Take me. She has the best. What are you laughing at, Mike?
Take me.
Take me.
Take me.
Take me.
Take Colin at Xanax.
But I agree with her. She has keep her over Tyler 100%. People make moves, but they didn't. You know.
Right, because everyone keeps saying that Shireen is not going to win. I think how many people said that this episode?
Everybody said
so
it.
then why would you send her home when
I know.
Tyler is the threat?
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
One of
It
the
doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And
Right.
tonight was their chance to get Tyler out of there. Absolutely.
And Tyler made a big move where he stole Dan's bag
Oh.
and found out the note that he has an extra vote. That's his advantage.
That was a big note too. It looked like it was like
Yeah, it
this
wasn't like
big
a
piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
See-
the clue out and hide the clue.
That like flashed me back to Australia when Tina went through Kel's bag looking for beef jerky. It's very intrusive to take someone's bag and look through their personal belongings like that. And anytime someone does that, I get kind of weirded
Don't you
out.
think it's all is fair on Survivor?
I agree.
Like
I
just,
think
like,
bags are.
You
you
have
can
to
go on
like.
them.
This is a game.
It's
You
a
were
game.
out there for $1 million, and it's just a game at the end of the day. But it's just like.
I don't know.
Well, even
man.
last season, Julie in the trail mix. Like it's every season, people are going in bags. Wake up, Dan. You're a fan of the show. You've seen people go through
I don't
bags
think
in
he's
multiple.
a fan of the show.
He's
Dan
a
is
super
not.
fan.
Dan is
He
not
claims to
playing
be.
like a super fan at all. I mean, the fact that he was on that reward challenge, sitting there eating a cheeseburger, like totally talking crap about Mike, and I'm just like, we were both like, Dan's going home tonight.
Yeah, we thought
Right.
it was.
Yeah. I mean, at least now he knows he's at the bottom of that ridiculous
God, which we'll
alliance.
Which we'll talk
Montage.
about. But
Yeah.
I think it's why would you keep these things in your don't keep the hidden idol in your
Right.
bag. Don't keep anything important in your bag.
Right.
Yeah.
This is Survivor 101.
Right. Like, you don't have any personal belongings out there, in my opinion. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, and even was it Sierra? You know, she had that ounce and spark of strategy and brain tonight, but then
I wouldn't say strategy.
they gave her the opportunity. Vote with us, and obviously her and Dan just weren't having it. They're so on the bottom, and it's just crazy.
I mean,
Yeah, it is crazy.
So we get to Tribal, and we have to talk about the biggest move at Tribal was Mike had immunity, and he pulled out the hidden idol and threatened to use it on Shireen, and he said, Shireen's gonna go vote for Tyler, I'm gonna vote for one of the other four, and you guys have to split your votes. I'm using it on Shireen. So
Right.
first, was it smart what Mike did? Would you have done it differently? I would have done it differently. Let's hear what you guys think first.
I don't know if I would have done it differently because I'm also thinking that if I'm Mike, I have a huge target on my back next week. I'm going to need that idol to make
Yeah.
it another week. So I understand not using it. So I thought his strategy in trying to save her was a good strategy, but I think he's screwed either way.
I think it actually ended up being awesome because it showed Dan that he's not in the alliance that he thinks he is.
He
And
got out
next
of it
week
what he
he's
needed.
gonna be able to
Right.
pull Dan back over to him next week. I'm
He-
sure of it.
agree.
Otherwise, Dan, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be really disappointed.
100%.
I think that was the preview because remember when the two of them were talking, he was just like, oh, I just wish I could get him
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a preview for what we're going to see next week.
Yeah,
'cause that's
some
what's gonna happen.
foreshadowing.
Here's what
That was the word I'm
here's
looking
what I
for.
would- here's
Foreshadowing.
Here's what I would have done differently. I would not have given Shireen the idol because I think you need it for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
What I would have done differently is before a tribal council, go to Shireen and say, hey, I'm going to give you this idol. You're going to pretend it is yours at tribal. You're going to whip it out, say that you found it, and you're going to say, I'm playing this idol tonight. And then before the vote, you're going to give it back to me. That's the strategy. That's the risk we're going to take.
But the votes wouldn't have been any different, though.
Yes.
What would have been different?
Because then nobody would have voted for Shireen. Because if Shireen pulled out the idol saying, this is my idol,
True.
suckers, I have it, I'm playing it tonight, you're all screwed. The reason why they still voted for Shireen was because they knew Mike probably wouldn't sacrifice his idol to her. So have Shireen make believe it's hers,
Right.
and just
Then they
her
would've
pull it out of her
scrambled.
bag, boom, they're all switching their votes because they don't want their ass on the
Yeah,
line.
but that would require Mike to have complete 100% trust in Shireen not to play it. And I'm sorry, I can understand why he wouldn't necessarily.
Sit next
But
to
that
her,
is-
sit next
that
to
would've
her,
been a good plan.
and rip that out of her.
Snatch, yeah.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, snatch it
You
right
guys
back.
saw
Rip
the
it off
box.
her neck.
Yeah,
This is
like
why I wanna
snatching
play the
pearls off
game.
somebody.
Yeah. Oh.
You know what, Justin? You should have talked like this in your Survivor. Your
You should talk like this in real life.
yeah.
Maybe you'd have a boyfriend.
Oh my God.
This is getting personal
This is
up in
getting
here.
personal over here.
You know what?
This show is personal.
But
No,
here's
I
some
wanna
questions
go
on
to-
YouTube. What I want to say is, do you think my strategy or what I would have suggested Mike to do would it have worked?
I don't
Put
know.
your questions out there.
Well,
or
I'll
your
tell you what
comments.
Gordo says. Gordo
Yes.
asked me, do they tell you who votes for who after the tribal, like on your way back to camp and when you're voted out? I've always been curious. No, they do not.
No, I think he's asking, do you guys discuss, like, I voted for this?
Oh,
I
no.
think he's asking if production tells.
Yeah,
you.
no, nobody
no.
nobody knows for sure who votes
Yeah.
for who unless we all just come
So
clean.
let's also, what was I going to say? There was, before the show, I said we need to talk about this about tribal. I don't know why I'm just blanking on it right now. No, because about the votes.
Yes.
Like, if Shireen, he did give the idol to Shireen,
Yeah.
and she didn't go home, it would have been tied. It would have
Yes.
been Dan had 2, Tyler had 2. Who
Then
would have went home?
There would have been a
hypothetically?
revote. That's
Correct.
why. That's
Tyler
why
would've
went
Tyler
home.
voted for Dan.
So
Tyler
who would have
would've
went home
gone.
then in that scenario?
Tyler.
If he did, he
Tyler,
would've, right?
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then Dan would have been like, what? And then he
Yeah.
would have been like,
But like you guys
"Hey."
said, it is what was smart on Mike's part is the threat. What he did tonight, he showed the true colors that Dan is at the bottom because he'll use that. But it was also smart for Mike to vote Dan because Dan is the only one who will take it personal. He will take it.
Wait,
next week
Mike
and be-
voted for Dan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Mike voted for Dan, and then Tyler voted for Dan.
Is anyone else out there confused like me?
Oh, Jerry.
I swore Tyler voted.
takes me a while to still call this
Mike
in.
voted for Tyler. When they showed him at the
Oh,
end.
maybe I'm
that
wrong.
was
Maybe
named
Mike
Tyler.
didn't vote for Dan.
What show is everybody
Oh
watching?
my gosh,
No,
we just got crazy.
You guys on YouTube right now, I'm looking. Did Mike vote for Dan? I don't
No.
think
Oh
he
my
did.
gosh, then I was wrong. Sorry.
He did it.
Well.
Yeah.
The lead host today doesn't know what the hell is
Dan
going
got
on.
votes. Dan got votes, and hopefully now, I've been wrong this entire season. I've said Shireen's going to make it to the finals. I'm admitting.
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
what do you know?
I have been saying Shireen is making it to the finals because of what we've seen. I'm owning up to it. I'm wrong. I will say now, my money is on Mike winning this season.
Which means nothing, but
I said that from the beginning.
you
by
play
the
these
way. I
weird
picked
Survivor
Mike.
games, those like fantasies, whatever.
With my friends.
Have you ever gotten close to winning? Ever?
Yes, I have. I have one.
I find that hard to believe. The last time we all played as a group, your people all got voted out back to
Hey
back.
now.
Oh.
Hey now. Wow.
Hey, Cody Van Hout says Justin's strategy would have been the smartest way to go about the idol.
Thank you, Cody.
Is that a wink or something?
Thank you, Cody. I'm very happy you said that.
Why are you
But-
reading it all seductively, Jerry? What does that mean? Like, oh.
I'm pretending like I'm poverty tonight.
Oh, whoa. All right. Well, any parting thoughts, guys, for the rest of the season? What do you guys anticipate? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't even know, to be honest with
Everyone
you.
except one person's gonna win.
I'm interested to see what's, yeah.
Best prediction ever.
I am interested to see what's going to go on with Boston Rod next week because he seriously blew up and his days might be numbered.
He says he's quitting. He's not gonna quit. Give me a break.
All right, we will see. We'll see. I think what's going to happen next week, a prediction, which I've clearly been wrong a lot of this season.
Yes, you have.
Dan and Sierra are going to hop back with Mike. Done. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our Survivor After Show, #SurvivorAS here at theStream.tv. And we're excited to wrap up this season of Survivor. Only a couple more episodes. The season finale is May 20th. We've got one more month left of
What are we
Survivor
gonna do?
episodes.
Oh,
We have no lives over the summer, but we switch over to Big Brother, so and watching it as a fan. But
I
thank you guys
switch
for
over to
joining
Big
us.
Brother.
And we love your comments on YouTube. Keep them coming, and we'll hit you guys back. So have a great night, guys. Happy
Bye.
Survivor Hump Day.
Hit it. For more of the Survivor After Show, click that button and subscribe to theStream.tv.